Winter Dreams by F. Scott Fitzgerald. F. Scott Fitzgerald was truly a modernist American author. In and of that time, in and of its concerns, and he lived it. A celebrity author who seemed to symbolize the spirit of both the 1920s with the partying, drinking, pleasure-seeking excess, and the 1930s, the following disillusionment and the gloomy aftermath of excess. Pretty much the spirit of following with the big stock market crash and the ensuing Great Depression. He came from a non-prosperous family, but went to good schools with the help of an aunt and quit Princeton University after 3 years to join the army, but he narrowly missed World War I. Now, this was an encounter that would drastically alter his life, and certainly affect the subject matter of his literature. While stationed in Montgomery, Alabama in the military, he met and fell in love with the Southern belle Zelda Sayre. She initially refused him, but he made a fortune to win her, and he did. But it resulted in a very stormy, embittered marriage with, well, substance abuse and infidelity, rampant infidelity on both sides. And as I think you will notice, and I think you also will recall if you are familiar with his best-known novel, The Great Gatsby, all of this seems to have affected his subject matter significantly. They had one daughter, Frances Scott Scotty Fitzgerald. Both became alcoholic, but she went crazy and had to be institutionalized. She suffered from schizophrenia and died in a sanitarium fire, so she died in an institution that, in a fire. And because of their excessive, wasteful, lavish lifestyle, and despite his success, he was always in debt. Sad. And one cannot help but notice how the real-life dynamic between he and Zelda absolutely affected, almost obsessively, the way his fiction was structured, particularly in the interactions, the dynamic between men and women, especially the protagonist and his female counterpart. The quote-unquote Fitzgerald male is a hopeless, ambitious romantic seeking and inspired by an idol-like trophy woman. And, well, that trophy woman would be the quote-unquote Fitzgerald female, who is a cold yet innocent, beautiful idol woman. Upper class and spoiled, but cruel with varying degrees of how deliberate the cruelty is, and dismissive of male pursuers. Fitzgerald's arguable naturalism, I talked about that with Stephen Crane's The Blue Hotel, if you remember, however, comes from how both are created and shaped by the forces of class difference and inequality. Some considerations for reading Winter Dreams in particular. The Fitzgerald male versus the Fitzgerald female in the story. The potential for sympathy for both. Again, how they are both victims of those naturalistic forces just described, ultimately. Class difference and inequality as a naturalistic force. And the significance of the title. What titles are important? What does the title, Winter Dreams, have to do with these considerations? I look forward to your responses.